What would happen to your family if something happened to you tomorrow? It's not the easiest thing to think about, but avoiding the conversation can leave your loved ones tangled in legal hassles, probate court, and unexpected expenses. The good news is, there's a way to protect your assets and ensure your family is provided for, even after you're gone. Why setting up a trust matters in 2025. In 2025, setting up a trust has become more important than ever, especially for older adults who want to secure their family's future. Common concerns like probate, legal fees, and family disputes over assets can create unnecessary stress for your loved ones after you're gone. A trust helps avoid these issues by ensuring your assets are managed and distributed according to your wishes, without the delays and costs associated with probate court. Protecting your legacy is about more than just passing down money. It's about making sure your family is cared for and avoiding potential conflicts. Estate planning has evolved in recent years, and a trust offers far more control than simply relying on a will. While a will outlines who gets what, a trust can dictate how and when your assets are distributed, giving you greater flexibility to support your loved ones in the way that makes the most sense for them. By setting up a trust, you can minimize legal hassles, reduce estate taxes, and ensure your plans stay private. In short, a trust gives you the peace of mind that your hard-earned assets will be used exactly as you intend. Now that you know why a trust is so important, let's break down what a trust actually is and how it works. Understanding trusts. What are they and how do they work? A trust is a legal arrangement that helps you decide how your assets will be managed and distributed, both while you're alive and after you're gone. It's like setting up a plan for your money and property to make sure they go to the right people at the right time. There are three main roles in a trust. The person who creates the trust is called the grantor. They decide what assets to include and how they should be handled. The trustee is the person or organization responsible for managing the trust. They make sure everything runs smoothly and follows the grantor's wishes. The beneficiaries are the people or organizations who will receive the assets in the trust, such as family members or charities. When you create a trust, you transfer assets, like your home, bank accounts, or investments, into the trust. The trustee then takes over managing these assets, making sure they're used or distributed according to your instructions. A big advantage is that you can control how and when your assets are given to your loved ones, even after you're no longer around. Now that we've covered how a trust works, let's look at why setting up a trust can be a smart move for protecting your legacy and reducing stress for your family. It offers some important benefits that can make a big difference down the road. The benefits of setting up a trust: protecting assets and minimizing legal hassles. Setting up a trust offers several key benefits that can make life easier for your loved ones while ensuring your assets are protected. One of the biggest advantages is that a trust helps your family avoid probate. Probate is the legal process of settling someone's estate after they pass away. It can be lengthy, expensive, and stressful for families, as it often involves court fees and waiting periods. A trust allows your assets to pass directly to your beneficiaries without having to go through this process, saving both time and money. Another important benefit is privacy. While a will becomes part of the public record once it's filed in probate court, a trust stays private. This means your financial details, like who gets what, remain confidential. For many, this peace of mind is a big reason to choose a trust. Trusts can also help reduce estate taxes. Depending on the type of trust, you may be able to lower the amount of taxes your estate owes after your passing, ensuring that more of your assets go to your family instead of the government. Additionally, trusts offer protection from creditors or lawsuits. For example, if you're worried about potential legal claims against your estate, A trust can shield your assets, keeping them safe for your beneficiaries. With these benefits in mind, it's clear that setting up a trust is not only a way to protect your assets, but also a way to reduce legal and financial burdens for your loved ones. Next, we'll explore the different types of trusts and how each one serves specific needs. Types of trusts. Which one is right for you? There are several types of trusts, each serving different needs and offering unique benefits. A revocable trust, also known as a living trust, is one of the most flexible options. As the grantor, you maintain full control over the trust while you're alive. You can make changes, add or remove assets, or even dissolve the trust if your circumstances change. This type of trust is popular because it allows you to avoid probate, ensuring that your assets are distributed quickly and privately to your loved ones. However, since you still have control over the assets, they are generally not protected from creditors or lawsuits during your lifetime. An irrevocable trust, on the other hand, offers greater protection, but with less flexibility. Once you transfer assets into an irrevocable trust, you give up control, meaning you can't make changes without the beneficiary's approval. The benefit of this trade-off is that the assets are protected from creditors and can provide significant tax savings, especially in larger estates. It's often used when the primary goal is asset protection or reducing estate taxes. A living trust is set up during your lifetime and is often used to avoid probate, as mentioned earlier. In contrast, a testamentary trust is created after you pass away, usually as part of your will. While it doesn't help avoid probate, it can be useful for managing assets for minors or dependents after you're gone. Special needs trusts are designed to support loved ones with disabilities. They allow you to provide financial assistance without affecting the individual's eligibility for government benefits, like Medicaid or supplemental security income. These trusts are carefully structured to protect the beneficiary's financial interests, while preserving their access to public assistance. Charitable trusts are used to support causes or organizations you care about. You can structure them to provide for your family first, with remaining assets going to charity after your passing, or you can direct a portion of your estate to charity right away. With so many different trusts available, it's important to choose the one that best fits your goals. In the next section, we'll walk through the steps you'll need to take to set up a trust, from deciding on the right type to appointing a trustee. Steps to setting up a trust. How to get started. Setting up a trust begins with taking a good look at your estate. This means assessing everything you own: your home, investments, bank accounts, personal belongings, and any other assets. It's important to know what you have so you can decide what you want to include in the trust and how these assets should be managed or distributed in the future. Next, you'll want to define your goals for the trust. Think about who you want to benefit from it, how much they should receive, and when those assets should be distributed. Do you want the funds to be given out all at once or spread out over time? Should certain assets go to specific people or purposes? These decisions are key to setting up a trust that reflects your wishes. One of the most important steps is choosing a trustee. This person will manage the trust according to your instructions, so it's crucial to pick someone reliable and capable. You can choose a family member or friend, but be sure they're up for the responsibility. Alternatively, you could select a professional trustee, such as a bank or trust company, to ensure impartial management of your assets. Once you have your assets and goals in mind and have chosen a trustee, you'll need to draft the trust document. This is where an attorney comes in. They'll help you create a legally binding document that outlines all the details: who the beneficiaries are, how the assets will be managed, and what happens when certain conditions are met. An attorney ensures that everything is properly structured and meets legal requirements. After the trust is created, you'll need to fund it. This means transferring ownership of your assets into the trust. Whether it's your house, investments, or bank accounts, these assets need to be officially moved into the trust for it to work as intended. It's also important to review and update your trust regularly. Life circumstances change, and you'll want to make sure your trust still reflects your current wishes. Now that we've covered the steps for setting up a trust, let's take a closer look at one of the most critical decisions: choosing the right trustee. Choosing the right trustee. Ensuring trust and responsibility. Choosing the right trustee is a crucial step in setting up your trust. The trustee will be responsible for managing your assets and ensuring your wishes are carried out, so it's important to pick someone who is trustworthy, financially competent, and reliable. They don't just handle paperwork, they make decisions about your assets, so you need someone who will act in the best interest of your beneficiaries. If you're considering a family member or friend, make sure they are up for the responsibility. While they may know your personal wishes, managing a trust can be complex and time-consuming. A professional fiduciary, like a bank or trust company, offers expertise and impartiality, but this option often comes with fees. For some, a combination of both, a family member and a professional fiduciary acting as co-trustees, can provide checks and balances, ensuring that decisions are made with care and professionalism. Co-trustees can be a great way to balance emotional involvement with financial expertise. However, having multiple trustees can sometimes slow down decision-making, so it's important to weigh the pros and cons. Once you've chosen the right trustee, their job will be to manage and distribute the trust's assets. This leads us to the next important step: funding the trust. Without properly transferring your assets into the trust, even the best trustee won't be able to manage them effectively. Let's explore how this process works and why it's essential to ensure your assets are properly handled. Funding your trust, ensuring all assets are covered. Funding a trust means transferring your assets into the trust's ownership so the trustee can manage them. Without this step, the trust won't be able to function as intended because the assets won't officially belong to it. This process involves retitling your property and financial accounts so that the trust becomes the legal owner. For example, if you want to place your home in the trust, you would need to update the deed to reflect the trust as the new owner. Similarly, bank accounts, stocks, bonds, and other investments should be retitled in the trust's name. Personal belongings, like valuable jewelry or artwork, can also be transferred, either by specifically listing them in the trust document or by including them in a pour-over will, which moves any remaining assets into the trust after your passing. It's also important to review the beneficiaries on accounts like life insurance policies or retirement accounts, making sure they align with your trust's goals. In some cases, you may want the trust to be the beneficiary of these accounts to ensure everything is handled according to your wishes. Failing to properly title your assets or update beneficiary designations can create confusion and delay, which is why careful attention to detail during this step is critical. Now that we've covered the process of funding a trust, let's take a look at some common mistakes people make when setting up and managing a trust, and how you can avoid them. Common mistakes to avoid. When setting up a trust, there are some common mistakes that can cause problems down the road, but they're easy to avoid with a little planning. One of the biggest mistakes people make is creating a trust, but failing to fund it. If you don't transfer your assets into the trust's name, the trust can't do its job, and your estate may still end up in probate. It's essential to follow through and ensure all assets, from real estate to bank accounts, are properly titled in the trust's name. Another mistake is choosing an unsuitable trustee. Picking someone who isn't financially responsible or doesn't have the time to manage the trust can lead to mismanagement of assets or delays in distribution. It's important to choose a trustee you trust, who understands the responsibility and can handle the tasks involved, or consider a professional fiduciary if needed. Failing to update your trust when life changes is another pitfall. Whether it's a marriage, divorce, the birth of a child, or a significant change in your financial situation, keeping your trust up to date ensures it reflects your current wishes. If you don't, your trust may not protect your loved ones the way you intended. Finally, overcomplicating the trust with unclear or overly detailed instructions can cause confusion. Keep things as straightforward as possible, so the trustee can easily carry out your wishes without misinterpretation. By avoiding these common mistakes, you'll protect your assets and ensure your trust operates smoothly. Next, we'll explore how trusts can help with estate taxes, a key part of protecting your wealth and making sure more of it goes to your loved ones. Special considerations for estate taxes in 2025. Protecting your wealth. Estate taxes are a tax on the value of your estate, everything you own, when you pass away. In 2025, estate taxes are a growing concern because changes in tax laws could lower the exemption threshold, meaning more estates may be subject to these taxes. For families with significant assets, this could result in a substantial portion of their wealth going to the government instead of their loved ones. Creating certain types of trusts can help reduce or even eliminate estate tax liability. For example, an irrevocable trust removes assets from your estate, so they are not counted toward the taxable amount. Charitable trusts can also provide tax benefits by allowing you to support causes you care about while reducing the size of your taxable estate. It's important to keep up with changing tax laws and work with an estate planner to ensure your trust remains tax efficient. They can help you take advantage of the best strategies to protect your assets from taxes. Now that we've covered estate taxes, let's talk about why it's crucial to regularly review your trust and make updates as needed to ensure it still aligns with your goals and financial situation. Keeping your trust up to date. The importance of regular reviews. It's essential to regularly review and update your trust because life doesn't stay the same, and neither do the laws. Major events like a marriage, divorce, birth of a grandchild, or a significant change in your financial situation might mean your trust no longer reflects your current wishes. Similarly, tax laws and estate planning rules can change, and what was once a smart strategy may need adjusting to stay effective. Revisiting your trust ensures it continues to align with your goals and complies with the latest legal requirements. It's also important to keep your trustee, family members, and beneficiaries informed of any updates so they know exactly what to expect and how things should be handled. Keeping communication open helps prevent confusion or disputes down the road. By staying proactive and regularly reviewing your trust, you ensure your estate plan remains solid and your assets are protected for your loved ones. Now that we've covered the importance of reviewing your trust, let's bring everything together with some final thoughts on how setting up a trust is a key part of protecting your legacy and providing for your family's future. Secure your legacy. Protect your loved ones. Setting up a trust is one of the most important steps you can take to protect your assets and ensure your family is cared for after you're gone. It offers a way to avoid probate, reduce estate taxes, and keep your financial matters private. By choosing the right type of trust, selecting a responsible trustee, and funding the trust properly, you can create a solid plan that reflects your wishes and provides peace of mind for your loved ones. Remember, life and laws change, So it's crucial to regularly review and update your trust to keep it in line with your goals. Consulting with an estate planner can help you create a trust that fits your needs and adapts to changes in your personal or financial situation. If you haven't already started, now is the time to take action. Set up a trust that will secure your legacy and provide for your family's future. For more helpful tips on estate planning and protecting your assets, be sure to subscribe and stay informed. Your family will thank you for it.